Hello, ready from Plant Reviews. Today is the 16th of January. I'm sorry for the long silence. I've been so busy between the festivities and I started a new job as well. And I didn't really have much time to do videos, but really, from now on, I want to be much more consistent in uploading videos. Yes, actually I have a few interesting plants that between the ones that are blooming and the ones that are growing in my garden, and well, I decided to start the new year video with one of my favorite shrubs in my fragrant garden that is indeed very fragrant, and this is Sarcococca, the sweet box. Actually, there are several species of sweet boxes, and in particular I have two that are Sarcococca confusa, this one quite tall, and a smaller one that is the Sarcococca hookeriana. You can see, or hookeriana, you can see that Sarcococca hookeriana has leaves that are a little bit darker than the confusa. However, they are both very beautiful. You can see how shiny the leaves are in both species. I have to say that my hookeriana is quite yeah, it's getting taller and taller, as you can see, and well, this is indeed the confusa is getting taller and taller, but definitely are both species worth having in the garden. Really, with hindsight, I should have planted them in a different place, because the hookeriana, the confusa obviously is taking over the confusa is taking over the hookeriana, but still they love shade, so they're able to grow perfectly fine. Sarcococca is a genus of plant in the same family Buxaceae, so they're very close relative of the box, and they come from temperate areas of Asia. I actually made a video about Sarcococca, about the sweet box, last year, but I didn't have as many fruits, and actually I had maybe just one or two, and I couldn't even find them during the video, at the stage of the video. Then watching again the video, I found actually there was just one or two fruits, but well, this year it has been really a great harvest of fruits. Actually, I'm not too sure if they are edible or not. I never tried, and definitely if I'm not trying them until I found sure information that they are actually edible. But what I want really this plant for was for the incredible fragrance. This plant is actually very quite common, yes, quite common to find in garden centers and online, and the reason is that in the climate of the United Kingdom is probably one of the species you can most easily cultivate. The plant, first of all, is hardy in the United Kingdom, and in many temperate countries is hardy down to USDA 7. I found also actually in some sources even USDA 6, but I'm not too sure really, because other sources instead they talk just about from USDA 7 onwards. Anyway, I am in Kent in England, and here is USDA 8, so definitely it's hardy here in Kent as well as in most parts of England that are between USDA 8 and 9 anyway. You can see these shrubs have different sizes. Sarcococca hookeriana usually is about half a meter, 60 centimeters tall, while the confusa gets taller, usually 1 meter tall. Sometimes it can even reach 2. I remember the first time I smelled Sarcococca hookeriana, which was just walking around on a road in Reading, in Berkshire, where I was living in the past, and I remember walking with a friend of mine. I got caught with this incredible perfume, wondering from where it was coming, because I couldn't see really any flower, and then I realized that it was coming from a plant whose flowers were really small. You can actually see, you can barely see them, but as in many many occasions, the plants that have the flowers that really you can barely see have sometimes the most wonderful fragrance. Sarcococca is one of them. Stauntonia, coriacea as well, has very small flowers, but the scent is incredible. And also Eleagnus crossbinjay is another species that even if you can barely see the flowers, they really fill the air with a wonderful sweet perfume. However, Sarcococca is useful not only for the perfume, but you can see also for the beautiful foliage. It's winter, it's the 16th of January today, and you can see that the plant is in full foliage still, as many other plants actually in the shade part of my garden, such as skimmia and also the beautiful Stauntonia. Here you see obviously honeysuckles and Philadelphus that are not in full foliage. Actually, yes, they are deciduous, as many other plants, especially in the sunny part of the garden. I'm sorry for the mess. I recently had to prune a lot of plants, and actually I have a lot of mess also on my floor. I'm redoing the floor of the garden. I really want to make something nice also for humans, not only for plants, in spring. But in the meantime, really I wanted to show you what, in addition to the beautiful foliage of the Sarcococca and the beautiful flowers that I already made a video about last year, the incredibly beautiful fruits. I never realized actually that the fruits were so ornamental. You can see they are really shiny and black. They need, I would say, about 1 year to ripen, and you can see that both my Eucheriana as fruits and the confusa. About the fruits, they're actually really similar. Maybe the confusa, the Eucheriana has slightly rounder berries in comparison to the confusa, but really the shape is very similar. And what I really enjoy of these berries is how shiny they are. You can see how they reflect the light, and now it's almost sunset. You can see that the sun is setting, and even in these conditions the fruits appear really to glow on their own. They are really incredibly attractive. So about the Sarcococca, I really would recommend this plant. First of all, it's hard in the UK. It's evergreen, so it's a very useful architectural plant. Can go literally everywhere, and different species and varieties at different sizes. You can go for the Eucheriana if you want a plant that is pretty small for the mid border, I would say, or a small edge, or otherwise you can go for the confusa if you want a taller edge. The thing is, you have to remember these plants actually are pretty slow in growing, so they are not ideal if you want something growing really fast. But I would say that in addition to the beautiful foliage, you can see the leaves are about 4 centimeters long and about 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters at the most, I would say more, yeah, 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeters wide. The leaves are very shiny, very glossy, really, really beautiful. In Hookeriana, so yeah, in Hookeriana they are a bit darker, so maybe I would say that I like Hookeriana more for the foliage than Confusa. Confusa is a little bit lighter, but again, this might be due also to the light. Usually leaves with in more sunlight tend to be lighter in color, but even Confusa, you can see, is still a really beautiful shiny color. The flowers themselves are not very ornamental, are very small, you can see, even if the shape is very peculiar. You see these, well, I can see really the stamens. I'm not even sure where the... Ah, here it is, yeah. There is a pist... I believe it's a pist... No, these are... Sorry, these are only... I can actually see only stamens here. So probably the pistil is inside. It gets pollinated when the flowers are visited by bees, bumblebees. Actually, today is pretty cold, but the plant is not even in full bloom because, as you can see, there's a lot of buds that have not opened. But even with these few flowers, I'm so close to the plant that I can smell its wonderful perfume. If you have an edge of this plant, you will feel the air of the garden with this wonderful, sweet, very fresh fragrance. Difficult to describe. It's like cut grass with a hint of sugar. Very, very strange, but very fresh, very pleasant. And also, in plants that are quite old, you will have this beautiful production of these very, very shiny fruits. Again, I'm not too sure if they are edible. I didn't find any information if they are edible or not, of their poisonous. So if you have kids or pets, be careful. Obviously it's better not to get any chance with the fruits that you don't know if they are edible or not. Anyway, I will do some research. If I'm able to find some information about the fruits of Sarcococca, I will write it in the description. So definitely one of the best plants to have in a fragrant garden. I'm happy this year to do another video about this plant. I will anyway put the link in the description of my old video about Sarcococca, because I speak more about the biology and the wild distribution of this plant. About the cultivation, this plant loves shady places, so light shade, partial shade is the best area. Full shade is fine as long as it's not too dark, but they're able to grow in shade, and actually shade is the exposure they really like. If there's too much sun, the leaves will get scorched pretty easily. About the soil, I have to say that they're very adaptable. Mine is mostly clay, and they're doing perfectly fine. Very important anyways to keep that the soil is moist. This is really what the most information I found, and anyway, this is my shady garden. I have a lot of plants that need moisture, like skimmia and even honeysuckles, for example. They like to have moist feet, moist roots, even if they love sun, and this is the reason because I planted several honeysuckles here, because even if on the fence they can get a lot of sun, the roots are kept well fresh in the ground. About the fertilizer, I very rarely fertilize Sarcococca, and I have to say that it's still growing perfectly well. I'm not very good in fertilizing, especially this part of the garden where I have Buddleia and Skimmias, but still these species are so easy that grow very, very well in my opinion. So Sarcococca really is a great addition addition for the garden, especially if you like fragrance, if you like evergreen plants, and if you like beautiful ornamental plants that even in winter can provide you with perfume and with also visual attractiveness, considering the beauty of the leaves adorned by these very shiny fruits. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, it would be great if you can please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like the video, please obviously give it a thumbs down, and it would be great anyway if you have any positive or negative comment that can help me to improve my videos. I would be very grateful as well. Of course, if you like this video and the other videos on my channel, it would be great if you can please subscribe to my channel, so this way YouTube gets notified you like my videos and supports me on the platform. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.